Okay, we are getting ready to show you how to make an interactive 2D JavaScript canvas type thing and make it sort of fun. Alright, so here we go. Part 2. Alright, so we got this easy start thing. It draws a bunch of stuff, a bunch of segments at least, and you know, doesn't look too bad. So first thing I'm going to do here is go down to this part, this canvas tag, and we're going to change the width and the height to 600 because honestly 200 and 100 is not a very good way to play a game. So let's make this 15 so the border isn't crazy, although it'll still be really bright colors, so that might be a bit annoying and awkward. So we're going to leave some here, and this is what it looks like now, and this is no longer the middle. Should we update this or just delete it? I think we'll update it. 0, 0, 2, 300, 300, or no, wait, 600. 600, 600, and the middle is 300, 300. Okay, and then move to, okay, yada, 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 okay. So, this is going to require 2 or 3 more things, one of them being the whole point of programming in many ways, and very important programming in many ways. So the first thing I want to show you is this. Input type equals button. But while I'm showing you that, I want to show you this command too, hr. So hr makes a horizontal row, and input type equals button, this exact thing, makes a button. It's that simple. So let me check this again, and I think I can be okay. We're just going to make it go from move 2, 0, 0 to line 2, 600, 600. We're just going to make it go, oh, well, let's make another move 2, and then another line 2. So move 2, 0, 600, and line 2, 600, 0. Okay. Oops. Back to here. You're going to get a huge square. You're going to get an X in the middle, and then you're going to get a button. Let's see if it works. Here's your huge square, and guess what? This is a button right here. Okay, so we're now putting a lot of things together. How do you make the button do something? You put on click, and then an equal sign, and then quotation marks, and whatever you want to do in the middle. So, for example, alert 2 plus 2. And that should alert 4 when you press the button. 4! Oh my goodness. Alright, so a lot to think about. Now, the problem here is this. Within these quotation marks, you cannot put a double quotation mark, because that will confuse the computer. For example, from this area to this area, there's 4 quotation marks. If you put 2 quotation marks, it automatically thinks that you're not talking about something being inside the quotations anymore. And you can see how that's confusing if I did this to you. Let's say, you know, 1 plus 2, like, I don't know, 3 plus 4. You wouldn't tell me that, like, well, okay, this is different than quotations because there's open and closed ones, but in any case, yeah, just make sure you don't put another set of quotations inside the quotation unless you are using different quotation marks. For example, this. So this theoretically should alert while quotes, because it's in a second layer of quotation marks, and we're using these single tick ones to make it happen. And those are actually for apostrophes, so then you can't use apostrophes between the apostrophes. And it gets to be a complicated mess, but let's see if it works. Let's see, this button's down here, you click it, and wow quotes. Alright, we're good. So, we're going to do the simplest thing we can when it comes to moving things. We're going to define a variable. So, here, zzx and zy. These are now variables. zzx is equal to 0. Actually, we should make it equal to 300. It's going to start in the middle. zy is also equal to 300. And what we have here is this. So you might notice that these two things are outside of the start. I did that on purpose because I want these two variables to be accessible by everything. We're not going to talk a lot about functions, but this C in the function cannot be used by any other function. Alright? So if another function talks about C, it's not the same as the C. Unless certain things get passed along. But don't worry about that too much. Point is, each function is its own little house. Things cannot come in or leave the house. But if you have something outside all functions, like this, that's like sunlight. It can hit all the houses. So that's the point of this. Okay. So I got a zzx and a zzy. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to move to, or no, I have to update zzx and zy so they get to their new home. Actually, I think I can do that on one thing, so I'll try that. Oh, I know what I was doing. Or do I? Okay. So, we're going to copy this function. Or, actually, we technically don't need this. So, I'm going to edit the logic here. The logic is we don't need the onload because we have a button. And the button we can't press until the whole thing's loaded anyway. So if the button exists, then we already loaded, so we don't need the button, or we don't need the onload part. Let me repeat that again. If the button exists, and if we put after the button, or we put an attribute on the button has to exist, otherwise we can't click the button. Anyway, alright, so let me just finish writing this code, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it in a bit. Okay, so zzx and zy is 300. Alright, so what we're going to do is every time you click the button, which is called onClick here, we're going to execute zz start, which is not a greatly named function right now because it doesn't start, but it's okay. So you have this thing, and we're going to move to zzx, zzx and zy, and then we're going to line to, and this is where variables are handy, 50 more than one and 50 more than the other. Okay, so this will draw a small diagonal line, but the problem is, well, let's just see if it works. So I'm going to do this. No lines, because I deleted all that stuff. And look, there's a button. Click the button, draws a small line. And it does. Okay, that's fine. This would be kind of boring, because every time you have to refresh, and then, oh, it disappears. Then you draw the line. Keep drawing the line, doesn't really do anything. It gets a little thicker, but that's about it. So what do? Well, you make another button. So here is button number 2. In fact, I'm going to make 2 more. ZZ start. Okay, so I'm going to number these 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 ZZ starts down the bottom there. I'm going to copy this ZZ start 4 times. And we'll start messing with them and changing them a little bit. Okay, so we'll start with the top one. So this is the original ZZ start. I'm just going to put in comments here, original. And actually, none of the functions, or that function doesn't ever get run. So I'm going to make this 1. I'm going to make this one 2. This one 3. And this one 4. So really quickly, we're going to add functionality. And after that, I'm going to try to end the video. Alright, let's see. So, ZZ start 1, is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay. So here we go. ZZ start 1. We're just going to leave it alone. It's fine. Oh, except for one thing. We're going to also have that ZZX equals ZZX plus 50. Now this looks terrible if you're from algebra, or if you were in algebra, but this is the way the computers think about it. It says this: make ZZX equal to whatever ZXZX is now plus 50. In other words, increase ZZX by 50. That's it. There's another way to write this, which is probably, well, maybe not probably better, but we'll see. Which is ZZX increased by 50. And this ZZY is the same thing. So I copied too soon is the problem. I'm going to copy this part and move it around everywhere. Okay. And one more. Okay, back to ZZ2. So ZZ2 is finished here. I've got move to ZZX, ZZY, and then line 2, 50 more, 50 more. And after I do all that, I want ZZX to be 50 more and ZZY to be 50 more, so that the next time a ZZ start is called, we will be fine. Sorry, I meant ZZ start 1. So ZZ start 1 is done. ZZ start 2. How about minus 50, minus 50? And again, these similarly, we must change it to minus. 3, 1 positive, 1 negative. So let's make this plus and make this minus. So y is minus, and y is minus. Alright, let's flip-flop them. This times the x's has a minus, and again the x's have a minus. Okay, cool. We need 4 buttons. We have on clicks. Okay, that's all good. And let's see how our program runs. So when I come down here, there's 4 buttons. In fact, I should really put like 1, 2, 3, 4 or something. Oh, it's okay. Alright, there are 4 buttons. Boom. Boom. Oh, hey. Boom. 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 Haha. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Oops. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. So that is this game so far. Basically, you press the 4 buttons and it moves left, right, up, down. But not really left, right, up, down. Kind of like diagonal. So really quickly, we cobbled together a program that does, well, something. Aha, oops. Aha, drew a square. How about I make 2 squares? Like this? It is a 9. Oh, it's an 8. Anyway, okay, you can fiddle with this program if you want. It's not perfectly written code, but honestly, it gets the stuff done. And more than likely, if you're like me, or if you just read less than 1,000 or 2,000 lines of code, JavaScript can handle being lazy by you. So, like, if you were to be kind of efficient, so that it wouldn't have to take all this stuff and put it into memory, you would make all these ZZ starts just one ZZ start, and then you can use shortcuts to make the code a lot smaller. But for now, we have a simple game running around in diagonals. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. And there we go. This is, by the way, Fibonacci, but I'm sure you don't care. So, anyway, there you go. A nice simple game. with a pink border. I will talk to you soon, perhaps. Thank you for watching.